Hey, how you doing, everybody? I guess I just wanted to start making videos so that everybody had like a record of who I was and what I've done over my life. Um, we've done a lot of different things over our lives within the 357 crew. Uh, One short story. Rikers Island, 1993. Uh, for some reason or another, I was grouped with a bunch of people, and we were uh, illegally congregated. And a dep walked in, and whatever. We winded up getting tickets, and I did 30 days in the hole. And when I went to the hole, I got sent to HDM box. Oh my God! Yo, when we got there, we all got sent to a blood house. And it was pretty funny, I guess. Uh, you had to watch your feet near the gates because you didn't know if they were going to come by and cut your feet with a razor. You know, that was one thing that I experienced while I was in there. But we used to go out to law library together, and it's funny. I was standing. Everybody was sitting at a table. All the people that I was with actually got put in a hole with me. And we were all sitting at the law library table in this little tiny room in 1A and 1B, HDM box. And I'll never forget it. It was one of the guys that worked there. Was a blood, and he wanted to rob a gold chain off of one of the people that I knew when I was with. You know, he wanted to rob a gold chain from him. So he got behind me, and it felt like it was like an ID card being scraped across my forehead right here. I mean, if you look, you see that? Yeah, there's 25 stitches right here. And then it goes back here. I don't know if you can still see it. There's another like 10 stitches right here. He almost got my jugular. So he cut me. And I went like this. Oh, whoa, what's this? Felt like warm, just like dripping down my face. And I saw all the blood. And as soon as I saw the blood, I freaked out. By the time I went like this and looked in front of me, the guy jumped in front of me. And as I put my hands down, I looked at him, and he cut the guy in front of me who was sitting in front of me, whoop, and snatched his chain off, whoop, put it in his mouth. I seen him doing that as he was about to turn, and by that time, I kicked him up in between his legs, kicked him up, like trying to kick him in his nuts. And he jumped up, put the gold chain in his mouth, swallowed it, turned. I'll never forget this. He turned and moved away from me that way. And as soon as he turned that way, he was taking his hand down from putting the gold chain and swallowing it. I had a pencil in my hand. Law library, we had pencils. That was the only thing I could really get in there. I took the pencil and I stabbed it into his neck. And he jumped back and he tried to cut me again with the razor. Whew. I jumped back. He swung at me a few times with the razor. I jumped up on the table. It was like a picnic table that everybody was sitting at. By this time, like, everybody jumped up and was like out of that table, and I jumped up on the top of the picnic table, and I tried to do like a drop kick off of the table. I jumped up and I went sideways and I went flying, woo, right, and my feet were going towards him, and all of a sudden I stopped in midair, and then I went, woo! Yo, I literally I went from being like this, and I went that way. Like, I did a complete somersault in midair. There was a gigantic CO from the ERU that grabbed me and tossed me out. I mean, literally like a sack of potatoes, and I weighed like 200 something pounds at the time. So I wasn't small. I'm 6 foot, pretty decent size. I'm not, real big or anything like that, but big enough, And I flew out of the room. Whoo! And as soon as I landed, I hit the floor. Automatically, I was picked up, spun around, and then shoved into a wall. Boom! With my face bleeding right here. Not here. Here. This is another story. But I said, "What are you doing, man?" I'm the one who's cut, man. And the guy grabbed me, twisted my head, and looked at it and said, "We got another one that's cut." And that was my experience of getting cut in Rikers Island. Back in 1993. It was a wild time, man. And after that was like, I went from, actually got stitched up in Bellevue, whatever. And, they asked me if I could identify the guy. No. I didn't see what happened. I don't know who it was. You can't snitch. It's the convict code. Even though I was an inmate in Rikers Island, I still, I looked at it like a prisoner, I wound up getting sent to another block in that same jail, HDM. I went to 5 block, and I was on like the 2nd tier. That's where I learned how to fish. I remember that guy, I just watched a video just recently of Larry Lawton talking about fishing from cells. I learned how to fish in HDM. I was fishing from all the way down the tier, down to the lower tiers, all the way down to the lower tier. It was fun. After I got cut and I went to 5 block, it was okay. I had a good time in there. I spent my time in there, and that was it. I didn't get into any more trouble there. But just a little quick story of like real Rikers Island stories of how it was in the early 90s on Rikers Island. If you have any questions, just leave it in the comments, or whatever. If you have any comments, just leave it in the comments. And I hope you like my videos. I'll see you later.